What's up, guys? This is Alina Popa, and today, together with my co-host Lenda Murray, we welcome you to a new episode of FEMME FLEX Friday. We got a special guest today. We have the two-time Rising Phoenix World Champion, Helle Trevino. Helle, welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to just jump straight back into how did you start. I'm always fascinated on how women start into this journey, right? Not necessarily, not just women, just people in general, men as well. But in this particular case, I want to know if have you always been athletic? Have you always been lifting weights or doing sport activities? So just run us back a little bit through your history.
Yeah, well, I've always been athletic. I started gymnastics when I was 3, and then I just followed, like, high school was like I was on the swimming team, I was on the track team.
Okay.
I had my own horse for 10 years, was in horse riding.
Oh, that's so cool.
We have something called equestrian sports in Denmark where you kind of ride all summer, every weekend with like a spear, and you got to hit the ring and ride different rounds. So we got a lot of like traditional stuff with horses that I was participating in. So yeah, I've been doing everything, martial arts, you know, a lot of stuff. And then I started when I was around 17.
17?
Getting into the weights.
Okay, oh, so you started lifting literally in 17,
Well, I've
right?
dabbled a little bit in high school, you know, gym
Okay.
class. But like seriously, I started when I was 17. I just wanted to look good, really. That's why I started.
Oh, to look good. I think, right, Lenda, this is a reason many women go into bodybuilding, to lifting weights, basically, to a gym, right, to look good.
Yes.
I particularly remember, too, just like you, I wanted to look good. How about you?
Yeah, but you know, I mean, that's what's so interesting was that you were 17 years old, and you know, weight training, even now, women think that if they lift weights, they're gonna get big. So you never had that thought, it never crossed your mind, you didn't. Did you have any opposition in regards to you lifting weights and deciding to go that route?
Actually, I didn't know so much about it. I didn't think I was going to get huge muscles like at the time. I was just concerned with like getting skinny, you know, like when you're young.
Oh, so you wanted to get skinny.
Yeah, because I mean, you see all the like women's magazines and the runway, and you know, they're all the models are skinny. Even if you pick up like a like some kind of promotional magazine for clothing, they're all super skinny, and I was like, okay.
That's true. Actually, the message out there, if you look at all these magazines, is that women actually have to be skinny, right?
Yes.
Was it the same case?
Yes, yes. And so, like at 17, what was your weight, if you can remember? A lot of times we don't remember. So at 17, your image of yourself, were you skinny? Because I can't imagine you being someone that was skinny.
I was never skinny, and I think that was the whole problem, because I'm only 5'5", and I don't have like 10 feet legs, you know, and that was kind of the image I had in my head, you know, like being tall and skinny, and I saw girls, they had like the leg hole between the legs, and I was like, I had like these big thunder thighs, and I was like, you know, I gotta, you know, you want to be sexy, you want to look good, and it's like when you're starting with boys, and I was like, you know, I need to get skinny, so I had the idea like I'll just stop eating and not eat anything at all, and I'm gonna start working out, and I'm gonna start running, and I'll get super skinny.
Okay.
So that was it, from the image of the women, the people that were around you, the women that you saw that, you know, you were not as petite or small, and you said, okay, let me exercise, and so.
Well, that's the problem with the whole, like, I'm glad that nowadays we have more focus on body positivity.
Yes.
And, you know, when I was growing up, it's like really, I mean, you just thought as a woman that you had to be skinny to be attractive. That was like the social norm.
It was a norm.
And, you know, that was what I was just chasing based on like what I was taught or what I saw on TV magazines.
It's very interesting because you were in Denmark and I was in Romania at that time, and I had the same issue, right? Everybody, my mom even wanted a small, skinny, beautiful, delicate girl, right?
Yes.
And all my colleagues were the same, and I wanted to be skinny as well because you don't know any better at that time.
Yeah.
You only know what the media is put in your head or the society.
Yes.
So here we are in two different countries. United States, did you have the same? Was it the same?
Same thing, absolutely the same thing. I mean, for me especially, I started as an athlete as well, and had an athletic physique. And you know, when I look at our industry today, when we started, it was just bodybuilding. And now we have all of these different categories for women where they can go into being a bikini competitor or figure competitor or women's physique or fitness. And at the time, growing up through high school, college, I was a cheerleader. So when you think of cheerleaders, we're always thinking about being small and cute and fitting into that image. And so, but I had an athletic physique. I had an athletic body. And especially like when you talk about gymnastics, for example, when you look at most gymnasts, they fit that image. They're usually short, under 5'5". They're muscular. You can see the shoulders, you can see their muscularity. And so they have an athletic physique. But that physique, as we try to go into life, you still look and say, okay, I got quadriceps and hamstrings, I got shoulders, and we're not that like pear frame where we're really small at the top. And so we just had to, I had to embrace, once I got past the collegiate cheerleading and went into professional cheerleading, like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, all those ladies look like bikini competitors. I was already too muscular. I was already really too athletic.
Right.
And I'm a mesomorph, so my physique, I put on muscle. So I love this conversation that we're having because we're letting women know there's different types of bodies, and so we shouldn't all embrace who you are, and you had the courage to do that, and so that's why I'm glad that you're here to tell our audience.
I would say, you know, honestly, when I embraced like my body and what it was, how it was, that's when I found happiness. Because I had also my mom, she was always dieting. She was always eating crackers and cheese. She thought that was the way to like, she would eat like three times crackers and cheese a day, and that was like it.
Wow.
You know? So, and you know, so also seeing your parents, you know, I think you also emulate your parents. You see your mom always being on a diet. So, you know, when I finally realized, you know, I went to the gym and I absolutely loved it, and I trained every single day. I didn't know you were supposed to take an off day. I never took an off day because I love to be there. And
I have a story like that too. You say like you didn't take a day off. I would open the magazines and I would do every exercise that I could think of.
I did it too in Flex.
So like for example, you go in Flex magazine and let's say there are 4 articles with the back workout.
Oh, you would do them all?
And I would do them all. Like my workouts were 2 hours plus. I would do every exercise I knew of for that particular body part.
I did something similar. Like I would just
you wouldn't take days off, right?
No, and I would be in the gym like at least 2 hours. Like I would just, you know, do until I felt like I really couldn't do anymore. You know, like, and I remember I met a guy at the gym and we were talking. He was like, you know, so what's your split? Like, what split? He's like, yeah, how's your workout split? I don't know. I'm here every day. He's like, you're supposed to have a day off. And I'm like, I am?
I know. Well, the joys of discovery, right?
Really, the joys of discovery.
So, but what was also really a blessing for me coming into this sport is because, I mean, I didn't know anything about nutrition. You know, my parents didn't really educate on, I mean, my mom thought you could eat cheese and crackers and that was healthy, you know. So they were really nice at the gym I was at. They were like, I had this kind of like half anorexia, half bulimia. Sometimes I would eat like a Snicker bar the whole day and that was the food, you know. And
Then also with bulimia, you would
well, then I would just,
would be like
sometimes
anorexia,
you would get so hungry
and
that you would just eat everything because you had starved yourself, and then you feel bad about yourself, and then you think, oh, let me just throw it up because then it's like I didn't have the calories.
Wow. You create a vicious circle. Yep.
A really bad circle, and then I started thinking it was smart. That, I'm so smart. I can eat whatever I want and enjoy it and then can throw up. And I thought that was genius. I mean, I was 17. But,
I get it. But that's amazing. I mean, I'm glad you're willing to
But it was
share
horrible.
That story
I
with
wasn't
us.
happy. I mean, I was really not happy. I mean, and they were, so when I joined the gym, people were like, well, maybe you should drink a protein shake after training. Just talking to, people that were a little bit more serious at the gym, they were like, I remember one guy was like, we were talking about what was healthy. He was like, so can you name me what's protein? And I was like, bananas.
Okay.
That was like the knowledge I had. So, I'll just say, because I have a lot of people asking me like, how do I get started? And they're like, so it's almost like surmountable. Like, I'm just get started. I didn't know shit when I started.
That's right.
Nowadays I feel like there's a lot of information out there.
Much more information that
internet.
I mean, we didn't even have Google back then.
Right.
So now just Google it.
Yeah.
And I'll also recommend to newbies that start, like, get a coach, someone who knows what they're doing. I mean, I had to do a lot of like trial and error and just try and see what works.
But I think that it's very valuable, the idea, that you have actually were pursuing somebody or not, an image that did not belong to you because you didn't have that skinny, small, small frame. You had a big frame, and then the moment you accept it, that you have a big frame, you're thick, you have muscles, you're a strong woman, that's when you actually came to be at peace with yourself and your life.
Exactly. It was like, did you experience that too? Like, it was like,
we all,
it was like a relief, like I found myself, like, I went to work out and I didn't really eat, and I started eating a little, and my body just developed really quickly. And I also, I'm a mesomorph, I've developed muscle quickly, and it was just such a relief to find myself that I really felt at home, like, okay, this is what my body was made to do. This is how it wants to look. This is like, no matter what I did, my body wanted to be more muscular.
So once you accepted that, then you started training, right? And then when was your first competition?
I trained for about 5 years.
Okay.
And, I could have probably competed earlier, but I was like, I have a champion mentality, and I want to win. And that's
it obviously shows.
I want to win. So I was like, I'm not going to compete before I can knock everybody out. So I waited until I felt like I had the physique that could do that. And I did knock everybody out. So I competed at the
it.
I did
on
it.
the first try. But I remember seeing you the first time at the Jantana.
In 2003.
In 2003.
I just turned pro.
That was your pro debut, right?
Yeah, that was my pro. I just turned pro a few months earlier.
And I was returning to competition. I was retired. I retired in, officially like 1997. So while you were on your journey and winning your shows in Europe, and then you show up, I returned, won 2002, 2003. But I see you. And
I remember you handed me the trophy.
Yes, I handed you the trophy.
It was
and I remember
honor.
looking at your physique because that's one of the things as the current world champions. We always know, we know all of the work that it takes to get to the stage, right? And then people come up to you and they tell you about the competitors. Have you heard about Helle, or you had and so then as the current champion, and to be there and then to get to see you in person, then I got to get to feel you out, see, what your energy is, but to look at your physique, and I was like, she's a beautiful physique. So at the time, I remember Iris, she was competing. I looked at you and I thought about you. I wasn't really concerned with Iris. I had already beat Iris. And so I know that you're preparing for the Olympia, the return of the Miss Olympia in December. And I did get to watch Iris Kyle's interview with Sean on Monday Night Muscle. And so she was very respectful. Great interview, by the way. So I know you watched the interview. What's your response and what's your plan for December? Because you're the champion and she's going after you.
Yep. Well, I'm going to come prepared. I actually started my preparation already mid-April. And so it's a long
It's a long one.
Yeah. Well, it was also the Rising Phoenix was supposed to be September 5th. And I already start early. I usually start 22 weeks out.
Yep.
So that fitted with that. So, but I would say this is probably the best prep that I've had ever, because we started out really hard with like lower carbs and more cardio. So I got lean pretty fast, and then as the Rising Phoenix was moved back 3 months, and also the Olympia, we were able to do some type of like reverse dieting.
Okay.
So we were taking calories up and cardio down. So I'm dieting on 3,000 calories and only doing 30 minutes of cardio a day. So I'm still growing. And I think that's really my force, that I believe this sport is a lot about preparation. Coming, you have your homework done.
Yep.
And I have a really great work with Shelby Starnes that I also worked with last year. We worked tremendous together. So I will come prepared for one. Then also, as far as addressing her on the Symmetry, I don't know if she watched the show last year, because what I was really recommended for and what I was really praised for was my Symmetry. It was like the flow of my physique, just the harmony, like my signature, the double bicep, you know, it's like one of the most like aesthetic of my poses that it's being emulated all over, you know, the line now. Like we just had the women's bodybuilder champion last night, Mela.
Mela, yeah.
She said she was actually watching my poses on YouTube, and she had been practicing on my signature pose, the double bicep, because she thought instead of being straight up and down, slanting the hip out, gave like a feminine kind of flow to that, and that's something that I also wanted to put my imprint on the sport. Is like I want to make everything more feminine and just more delicious, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Good word,
even
delicious.
like delicious. So even like the stand-up posing, I've changed some of the poses a bit. You know, from being straight up and down to the hip slant to, you know, I have a little bit more of a twist on my side chest and stuff where, you know, in between I've been taking some ballet classes, so, you know.
Good,
it's nice and flowing,
smart
right?
move.
So, you know, I'm working on a lot of other things. I'm doing yoga for flexibility and movement, and I've been doing this for years. I mean, yoga is 8 years. I've been working several years with a ballet teacher. So a lot of it is in the preparation. And Iris is a great champion. I have a lot of respect for Iris. She's won 10 years.
Absolutely.
She's undefeated.
Absolutely.
But being out from competition for 6 years, I think it's going to be hard to get back to that physique in like, what do we got? 15 weeks?
15 weeks, yeah.
So, and I think just, I mean, this is bodybuilding, it's not physique. I think now where we have two divisions, that they're even making a more clear cut now.
Yeah.
Like say with Mela again, she competed last weekend in physique and I think she was last.
Yes.
And now she competed in female bodybuilding this week, and she was first. You know, they want to make that clear cut, and it is bodybuilding. And I've been able to develop my physique further to address the symmetry issue. I have many years been a little bottom heavy because I do have big quads, and I have competed with her on the same stage.
Yes, you have.
When the Olympia was there before, and if she remembers my physique like that, well, that was when I was getting started. That was when I was a rookie and I was coming along. But my physique has changed drastically over the years because I've been keep developing my craft and my muscle has matured more. I've got more roundness and built more upper body mass. And I've also been focusing on this off season, which has been very good to me because, you know, the coronavirus made me train harder because there was no work, no traveling, no distractions.
Right. Absolutely, a lot of athletes.
The only highlight I had in my day every day, apart from sitting in the house, was to go to the gym. So I put extra effort and said, you know what, I'm going to use this for something positive. I'm going to put all my effort into my training because I have time for it now. So I've trained my ass off, I diet my ass off, and I'm going to come ready and prepared. And I build about, my estimation is about 6 pounds this off season, all on the upper body.
Okay.
So I will say if I was good, if you think I was good last year, I'm going to be great this year. I mean, it's really looking good. Like, I'm taking progress photos every week. I keep developing, I keep even building, even though I'm dieting. I'm super pleased with the symmetry and the flow, and
I agree.
I'm going to work again with Kenny Wallach on the posing. We're going to start here next week.
I know that you're going to compete at the Rising Phoenix as well,
That's in 13 weeks.
Exactly, and then you're going to compete at Olympia. So if you win both shows, you are going to be the first woman in the history to actually have both titles.
Yes.
So I think that's a great motivation, right?
Well, that's actually been my personal goal for this year. Exactly that, to be the first woman in history to hold
Establish
both
a new
titles.
benchmark right there.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah.
If you want to write history, you know,
There you go.
you got to do it the right way.
That's true. FEMME FLEX Friday.